marked off. I wasn't necessarily looking to take that off rip. So we'll kind of see how this works out. Alright, yo, check me out, check me out. Once again, you know what I'm saying? We on time like a dime. Probably not my best rhyme, but you see, I brought it back like I do every time. Boy, Tyree Samuels. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at official Tyree Samuels. Also, make sure y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Please make sure that you also hit the like button. The like button does help your boy get seen out there so we can have some family members come join, the call every single night, just like you are. Right, now make sure that y'all can hear me and understand what I'm saying. Let me get you a drop of one in the chat. If you are on this call tonight, let me get you a drop of one in the chat to make sure that the vocals are good, that the speaker is good, and most importantly, that y'all good. You understand? Get a little bit of interaction. So, as usual, you guys already know, if you want to be able to follow everything as far as trade ideas, as far as whenever the links get dropped, and get back on the whole YouTube thing, definitely want to make sure that you tune into the Telegram chat. So, if you go on my YouTube channel, which is obviously Tyree Samuels, as you guys are already on, go click on any video. And at that point, as soon as you go to the description, you will see my Telegram chat. Okay? It's going to be Legacy Wealth. It's probably going to be the first thing that pops up in the description. Make sure y'all go do it. On top of that, right, since I'm such a gentleman, I'm actually go ahead and drop that in the chat for y'all. Just in case, I know it's 2023. People don't want to do a whole lot of work, right? I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. So I did just drop that in the chat. Y'all can copy that. Go ahead and join the Telegram. And then we're about to go ahead and get it cracking. So you guys know, Monday through Friday. I did miss yesterday, but we back on schedule today. Monday through Friday. It's going to be 1 a.m. Central, 2 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you tune in time. We're going to go be here for about 30 minutes to an hour each time. I don't do crazy long calls. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. So you already know, majority of the time, we are just looking for opportunities that could possibly pan out later on in the night. And unfortunately, guys, we've had now. I'll actually take the blame for this because this was my fault. But as you guys can see right here, there was an opportunity that was slightly missed, and I'm actually go ahead and bring that on the screen for you guys. So I don't need to do all that. So basically, what you guys can see. Let's see. So right here, right? So 2 consecutive nights. I want to show y'all the first one. So the original trade I did, which obviously, if you guys are on the call, you could definitely make sure that you go tap into, definitely make sure that you go tap into the previous videos that have been posted, and you guys will be able to see, the previous trade ideas that I'm about to go into. So earlier this week, we had USD Chef. As you can see, the setup here, the parameters. USD Chef came extremely close to our entry. Close, but no cigar. And then ended up taking off and actually going to hit the take profit. That was a bummer, right? Then we got another bummer. Now, USD Chef, even if I go back in time, there's nothing that would have made me position the setup differently. There's nothing that would have made me put the entry differently. Nothing like that. So, Um, the thing that I ended up realizing was USD CAD was actually something I could have improved on. So what I should have done, what I should have done was I should have looked at kind of just froze on me. Let's see. So I guess it won't let me do the picture. So if I were to zoom in, I just needed to put this a little bit lower, and I can go into that. But same concept as you guys see, how close it came, before it ended up obviously taking off in the other direction. So right here is pretty much where I put my entry. So for me, whenever I'm looking for an entry off of these candles, I'll just go ahead and use the replay tool. So when I'm looking for an entry off of these candles, I like to use the fib. As you guys can see, the fib on this one, this was the 88%. But what I'm starting to realize is, because my trading style, I don't take a lot of trades throughout the week, honestly. Maximum is probably going to be like 1 to 3 trades a week. Probably not going to be 3. Probably more so like 1 to 2. Um, so I need to be able to maximize the few opportunities that I'm going to have. So I got a little cute with this one. I should have just moved it to the opening of this candle. So that's definitely something I'm gonna start just automatically correcting moving forward. No reason to get too cute with it. So that was an opportunity, as you can see, that we did miss. You see how extremely close it came to take profit. I mean, not take profit, to entry, and then ended up falling out the sky, as you can see. So that is a bummer. Me personally, at this point, I didn't necessarily see an entry I'm just like crazy about. I guess what I could do, now that I'm thinking about it, we could actually look at it from this perspective. So if I were to go ahead and eliminate these previous drawings, right, what I would see is going to be this. I have this 1 hour candle. That 1 hour candle looks the best for me. Yeah, so basically what I would be looking at is, if we're looking at this setup, right, I'm going to put it where I would have taken it, just to give me a better. All right, cool. So we're going to put that at like, let's see, do it like that. All right, cool. So what I'm looking at is on this 1 hour, notice how the market is now flowing down. So even if I go back to the 4 hour, you can see how the market has really been flowing down, right? Been breaking a lot of structure. Market's just been continuing to flow down. So we're definitely trading with the trend. And for me, what I'm noticing is where we have this 1 hour candle up here, that could be a good opportunity to look for a possible rebound for the market to come back and then continue another drop. I personally like that a lot, actually, because if you notice, originally the first play I was looking at, we had this break of structure here. So from this point up here, we had this break of structure down here, right? So now once again, what does the market do? The market created another high, the market created another low, and in the process it created another break of structure. So with this break of structure, what I would be looking for is, to me it would make sense at this point for the markets to still give us a continuation to the downside, since we're already trading with the trend, as you can see. So personally, like honestly, it depends on how you look at it, because you could, let me see. I mean, you could try to do something like this. I don't really trade the 5 minute. You could try to do something like this, technically, because technically you did get this break of structure right here. You had this last high, Then you got a new low. So you could possibly try to look at it from like this perspective. But me personally, I like trading the extreme. So like the last overall highest point. So for me, I would personally be looking for something like this, and I'm actually just go ahead and mark this up. So what I would personally be looking for, let's see. Yeah, so this is what I would personally be looking for. So we got this last, bullish candle before the market gave us the reverse. Drop down, broke structure. We're already on a downtrend. Like how I said, on a 15-minute, depends on how aggressive of a trader that you are. So if you guys are also looking for a possible opportunity that could happen tonight, because this doesn't look like it'll come up here between, the next 10 hours or whatever, depending on what session y'all trade in. But this 15-minute could be an opportunity. So one thing I said I'm gonna start doing is I'll have it ready for next week. I'm gonna create a separate chat so you guys can be able to just get the markups. Cause in the chat that's currently in the chat that you guys can go take advantage of. If you guys go look in the YouTube chat, you'll see that I put my Telegram in there. So basically, I'm gonna create another Telegram so you guys can be able to get the markups. Cause that Telegram specifically is just for the trade ideas and like the YouTube links. I want to have a separate one so it's not just like a confusing clutter. I don't want the markups being confused with the actual trade ideas that I'm sending out and things like that. So something like this would be a markup I would send. And when I send a markup, um, things like this are zones. So it's a difference between me looking for an entry and me setting up a zone. So for the zone, what I would look for in a nutshell would be something like this. Market going up, eventually come and hit this zone, give me some kind of reaction that I'm looking for, and then continue to give me that. That's pretty much what I would be looking for. I'm not necessarily looking for it to come up here and I'm going to just immediately sell it. I'm looking for it to get up here, see if I get a reaction that I like, and then get in. And that's primarily because, first off, I don't like taking trades off of candles that have big ass wicks. I don't like gigantic wicks. On the candles, I prefer them to be like smaller. So not crazy about the wicks, but it is an imbalance. The breaker structure is there, so it kind of depends on you. So like I said, if you're on the call and you're actually looking at USD CAD for opportunity, or you're just looking for opportunities in the market tonight, this is a valid opportunity. Like I said, depending on how you trade, which the majority of trading styles are waiting for the market to give you a reaction anyway off of a specific zone usually. So like I said, you could look at this 15-minute time frame, see if it gets up here tonight, London or New York session, see if you get a reaction that you deem good enough to get into the market. And then obviously, like anything else, you can exit the trade whenever you want to, but as far as like an exit, I would look at something like this. This would be like an overall exit. If you possibly see it dropping lower, do what you want to do, but I would look for, obviously, your profit for this setup would be, roughly about like 86, 85 to 90 pips of profit, give or take. Obviously depending on your stop loss and where you get in and all that kind of stuff. So that's a lot of space to be able to trade with. So that's a possibility, but like I said, what I would actually be looking for, because like I said, I'm marking up that zone for myself as well tonight. So if that actually happens, that could be something that I actually call out myself. So I will actually keep that and mark that up. And like I said, make sure if you're new onto the call, shout out to y'all. I appreciate all the support. Definitely gonna stay as consistent as possible. Please don't be shy. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Anybody that's been a day one person knows I used to go crazy on the YouTube. I used to go hard, then I slowed down, but I'm back on it. We're going crazy out 2023. So subscribe and make sure y'all hit the like button. Show your boy some love. Do not be shy. And invite a friend. You dig what I'm saying? So, yeah, so that's a possibility for tonight. But overall, this is what I'm telling y'all. I would be looking for this 1 hour. I'm actually go ahead and set up this 1 hour like so. And like I said, I'm just looking for the the opening as far as the entry. Me personally, uh, for anybody that's having a hard time identifying how to set stop losses, obviously a stop loss greatly depends on the time frames that you trade on. Some people have a rule of thumb. Um, I'm one of those people. I don't trade anything more than a 40 pip stop loss. Anything that's bigger than 40 pips, I'm gonna do my best to try to fit it within the 40 pips, but some setups just don't fit that. So that's just me. Maybe I'll have different ones. So for me, if the market actually gets up here, I would be looking at a 28 pip risk. I'm just looking to have my stop loss up here at the top, and then I add 3 pips of spread. Personally, I always think you should add spread to your stop loss just because obviously if you know anything about spread, it's a dirty game out here, so you definitely want to protect yourself. And obviously for this, I would be looking for the market to extend lower, but I don't want to have all this in the way of another. It's just too much going on. So I'll just keep this up here just so I know I'm looking to take this if it gets up here and I already have it set. So, you know, I don't like to be caught off guard. I don't want to wake up and be like, oh man, I forgot to set it. Then you're fumbling. Market starts taking off without you. You get a bad entry. So I like to have all my stuff pretty simple. You got to be a professional. You feel me? It's like having an Excel spreadsheet with like all your bills that you got to pay. You got like rent's $1,000, right? You might have like water bills $10. You might have like, I don't know, dog food monthly bill $50. I don't know. You feel me? So that's USD CAD. So we actually did a pretty good job breaking down USD CAD. Got 2 potential opportunities, one more so sooner than the other. ADUSD, CAD Chef. All right, so we actually got a few different things that we're going to talk about tonight. So USD, so AUD USD. I'll pull up AUD USD on a different chart, AUD USD, or on a different broker slash data feed. Would you call the big wick a kangaroo tail? I mean, definitely. You could refer to it as that. I definitely agree with using terms that make it easier to comprehend. So I like that. Because I'll give you another example. I'll take it a step further. I remember the first time somebody told me this. So an engulfing candle, right? Let me see if I can find like a good one. Oh, I mean, shit, this would be a good one. So like an engulfing candle, this would be an engulfing candle. I remember the first time I heard somebody say Shaq Kevin Hart. So an engulfing candle looks like Shaq and Kevin Hart. That's funny. Let's see. So like this, basically. Shaq and Kevin Hart, engulfing candle. This is Shaq. This is Kevin Hart. So yeah, actually, shout out to you. But yeah. So AUD USD, right? So basically, if we start off, because for me, I usually use a 4 hour to, see like structure. So basically, what we have, right? From what is this? April 5th of last year. That's a while ago. The market has basically just been tanking. Okay. It reached a low October 13th, and it's been trending up ever since. So since October 13th, the best thing to do on AUD USD is continue to look for buying opportunities until the market shows you otherwise, right? So we're just trading with the trend at this point. We are just trading with the trend. So what I ended up saying was, you got to follow structure. So what are we having? Break a structure here, right? What does the market do? Broke structure, pulled back. What did it do? Once again, broke structure, okay? So let's make it a little bit cleaner. So broke structure here. We also broke structure once again here. So once again, we have a new low. We have a new high. What do we have over here? A new low, a new high. Market retraced, gave us a new low. Market extended, gave us a new high. So since we're looking to continue trading in the same direction, aka the trend, what I like to do is I like to look for, you guys already know at this point what my entry candles are. Shaq and Kevin Hart, right? aka the engulfing candle. So now, as you get on my calls more, you're going to start to understand how I look for entry. So me personally, you don't have to do this, but I personally recommend it, right? I like to use different time frames specifically for my entry. I don't use these time frames in general, only when I'm looking for an entry. So primarily I'm generically using the time frames that are preset, which is 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour daily. I don't really use the daily a whole lot, I'm gonna just be honest. But not saying that you shouldn't, because having a bigger scope definitely works. But obviously, as you gain experience, different things work for different people. But using the daily definitely works. So definitely use the daily whenever you're learning the market until you get to a certain level. But anyways, I like to be able to use these time frames to find an entry. So, example, 4 hour, right? Notice, like how my friend in the chat said, this is. They really want me to subscribe to McAfee so bad. This is a this is a kangaroo tail right here, right? This is your kangaroo tail. Now, even though this is a big candle, I'm not crazy about the wicks like that. I just don't like entering off of candles that have long wicks. Because this was the market exhausting to the downside and forcing the pressure back up. I prefer a candle with as little wick as possible. So notice as I scroll, I want to keep scrolling until I see that the wick is not huge. Notice how big the wick is. 1 hour, still big. And remember, not only do I not need a big wick, I also need an engulfing candle. So this is an engulfing candle, right? Big green candle, small red candle immediately to the left. Or institutional candle, just depending on what you prefer. This is another one right here, right? The 1 hour is not. So I wouldn't even be looking to enter off of this time frame just because they don't even have that candle formation I'm looking for. On top of it, we got the kangaroo tail. I get to the 55-minute though. Look how much smaller this is, right? I'm going to just leave this here and then go back to these time frames. Look at how small this is compared to the rest of this wick. Look at the 2 hour. Look how small this is compared to the rest of this wick. So I've now reduced it, right? Since I've already looked at all these other time frames, I know already by default, because I do all this before I get on the call, that the 55-minute is the best option. Now from there, this is how I'm going to find my entry, right? I want to enter preferably off the body of that candle, okay? I want to enter off the body of that candle. Now, the most generic thing that you can do is enter off the opening of that candle. But like I said, the opening still has to be, for me personally, you might be different. I need it to be within 40 pips. And that includes the fact that, remember what I said, I always add 3 pips of spread to my stop loss. So that means that I need to have within a 40 pip setup, but it also has to be with the extended 3 pips that I'm going to add for my spread. So yes, if it's actually 38 pips, but I'm still adding my 3 pips of spread, technically it's 41. Then you want to know what I would do at that point? I felt like I sounded like Mike Tyson. I said at that point. That's funny. There's 2 different ways you can enter generically. You can enter off the opening, or you can enter off of the 50%. Right? Bam. You can either enter off the opening or the 50%. So the opening and or the 50%. So I'm going to tell you what I generically do. What I generically do is, if I try to enter off the opening and the stop loss is bigger than 40 pips, I'm going to then attempt to enter from the 50% and see if that can make my stop loss small enough. Okay? If neither one of these makes my stop loss within 40 pips, at that point, what I would then do is this. I'm literally giving y'all the game, okay? It's 3 different levels to me looking for an entry. Opening, okay, stop loss is above 40 pips. Okay, let me try to move it down to the 50%. Okay, the stop loss is still above 40 pips. Final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just create a zone for that same area, and then to get a stop loss within 40 pips, I'm going to just wait for the market to get to that zone, give me a reaction, and then when I get a reaction off of a usually smaller time frame than this zone, so that time frame probably be like the 15-minute, the 30-minute, or something like that, then I would get in with the obviously preferred smaller stop loss, and that would still give me the ability to take advantage of the zone, but I just wouldn't be able to set it as a buy limit offset, just because the way that I go about it violates one of my rules, which is having a stop loss within 40 pips. If anything that I said made sense pertaining to how I look to enter a trade, let me get you to drop a one in the chat. Because I don't know about y'all. I like interactions in the chat, right? So I want to be able to form that bond, you know what I'm saying? Get some regulars. But let me get y'all to let me know by dropping a one in the chat. Do you understand how I go about looking for an entry, right? Opening 15% or 50%. If neither one of those gives me an entry with a stop loss within 40 pips, I will then just drop a zone for that same area and wait for the market to get to that zone. And giving that it gives me a reaction that I like, I will then look for a reduced stop loss and take the same trade based off the same zone. Okay? So AUD USD in a nutshell, the way that I just broke it down, you guys can see how it looks whenever I have all the other drawings on it. So what do we have? As you can see, and you can see I have lower levels that never got achieved, so this could be something that could still happen, but personally I would just wait for this zone versus try to take that immediately when it hits that level. But as you can see, break a structure. You can see I have my fib drawn out. The best thing about the fib is the fib gives me consistent area that I can look to target versus just randomly hoping that the market goes wherever you think that it's supposed to go based off of whatever, you know. So I'm not looking to hold the market forever. I'm looking for a consistent area that's going to give me a minimum of a 1 to 3. So for me, whenever I look at risk to reward, I want a minimum of a 1 to 3. And I'm cool. If I can get at least a 1 to 3 on a setup, I'm cool. I ain't tripping at all. I'm going to keep it real with y'all, okay? So at this point, I'll be looking at about a 1 to 3.2. I'm looking to take it to the negative 27%. And yeah, as you can see, I got out my opening. My stop loss is 36 pips, which is what? Within my 40 pip range. So I'm good to go, right? Next is going to be NZD USD. Honestly, if you guys don't know, obviously AUD USD are correlation pairs. So what one does often, the other one follows. Maybe not exactly, but very similar. So as you guys can see, similar. On similar time frames, I got them marked up to 55 minute, 55 minute. But just for the sake of it, I will still go ahead and break it down. Right, so NZD USD, same thing. Like I said, a lot of times I like to start off on the 4-hour time frame, gauge what the overall flow of the market is. So once again, you guys can see since what do we have? Since about April. So April 5th, the market has been trending now very aggressively. The last time that the market had a considerable high was here. This was August 12th. So it created the new low October 13th, and now we are back above that last strong structural level. So the market could be getting ready to aggressively start trending back up. Not to say that it hasn't already been doing it. So a strong correction could happen before it does that. But at this point, notice what the market did. The market came up, broke above that level, gave a retracement, came back up, broke that new level or new structure high, and now it's continuing to look like it could keep going up. So once again, we are looking to actually take a trade going in a strong direction of the current trend. Same thing, right? We don't want to take the trades with the kangaroo tail, the long extended wick. I don't want to take a setup off of a candle formation like that. So what I'll do is I'll keep scrolling. I got to the 55 minute. And it's a similar concept. I want to be able to look to take a setup off of this, right? This candle formation. And yeah, so we got the breaker structure up here. Cool. I mean, I could take it further. We got the breaker structure all the way over here, right? Makes sense. I mean, it makes plenty of sense if I go back to the original setup. You guys see it, pulled the fib back out once again. Looking at about once again, like a 3.2 to 1. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. 29 pip stop loss. So like I said, these calls, pretty much you're never going to get on one of these calls and see a setup happen in real time. I'm honestly not Rarely do I do market execution. The majority of my trades, as y'all come to learn, are going to be buy limit, sell limit, which is just preferred for me. I like to be able to go to sleep. I don't want to. I don't want to have to stay up all night. So obviously, that's not going to be everybody's style. I'm not saying you have to have that style, but there are benefits, there are disadvantages. What's a disadvantage? A trade can come half a pip away from my entry and go in my favor. If I was awake, I could have taken advantage of that. If I'm asleep, I miss the setup. Benefit is if the market is going to hit that area anyway, and I'm not awake and I can still take advantage of it, I would obviously rather do that and then just wake up and be in the same profit. You feel me? So I'm literally getting on these calls every single night to give y'all setups, non-stop setups. And actually, I didn't even think about it. I could just drop these in the YouTube chat. So that's what I'm going to do for you guys. And I'm actually giving y'all the take profits as well, too. So, obviously, like I said, if these actually end up doing what they're supposed to do, I would just call these out in my signal chat. But, yeah, so basically, let me start giving y'all these. Oh, shit. I ain't mean to do that. Cool. Copy. Drop that in the chat. All right, cool. So like I said, what I'm doing for y'all is I am dropping these in the chat. You got take profit, stop loss, entry. One thing I will tell y'all though, just as a heads up, even though I'm dropping these in the chat, if I don't call it out in my Telegram, I did not take it. So if y'all take any of these by yourself, you're taking it by yourself. But I'm just giving it to y'all so y'all can, use the information for whatever use you would like to have it. You feel me? What else? So GBP Chef or CAD CHF, once again, if you guys notice, so 4-hour time frame, market's been trending down very, very, very aggressively. Very aggressively. It's been doing so since about November 3rd. As you guys can see, I still have something marked up here, which could be a gigantic trade if it comes back up here. And then, obviously, this would take a lot of time. Because this happened about a month and a half, month and some change, month and a couple weeks. So for CAD CHF, personally, what I see, actually, now that I think about it, I don't know how I feel about it. It could go either way. But primarily what I see is I believe that we got some break of structure here. Okay. And in a nutshell, what I would have preferred, I could be honest, what I would have preferred is for the market to break above this area first. That's what I would have preferred. But I do feel as though this is valid. So the market broke this structure level right here. So I would personally mark that off. So we got this BOS here. And then with that BOS on the 15-minute time frame, this is what I found. So once again, look at the candle formation. You guys can see it. And that's pretty much what I would be looking to take the setup based off of. Now, once again, I could just look to set, a buy limit here. Reason why I'm not going to do it is I only like to set buy limits and sell limits for what I consider to be 100% clean setup. 100% clean setup would be, for me, if it broke above this high. Because this was the last real high. As you can see, if you look at all this distance, this was like the last significant high. Right? And after that, all these highs over here, like, this is easy money. Like, it should go for areas like this if it breaks above this high. This is like the last resistance area. So since I didn't get that, right? Since I did get a break of structure, but I didn't get like the break of structure, right? So instead of setting a buy limit, I still have confidence in the zone. I would just like a little more evidence, right? So the evidence would then be similar concept. What would I like to see? The market get down to the zone, give me a reaction that I like, and then I can possibly look to take it in that direction. So what I would say is, it's kind of hard to send this one out just because it's I like sending it whenever the picture looks clean. So uh yeah, so what y'all could do, I'm gonna still send that out 15 minutes, so not everybody. I learned not everything is so common, so let me make sure y'all know what direction you should be looking to take it in. So I'll send this out. This is something I'm looking for. Obviously, whenever you see the zone, look for a reaction, and then you could possibly look to get in if you're confident in the setup, the way that I explained it. I'm giving you the time frame here so you guys know, okay, over here with this long ass wick, if I go to the 15-minute time frame, draw the same zone on that 15-minute candle, and then wait to see if we get a reaction whenever it gets there. So I'm going to drop that in the chat. All right, bet. And like I said, if y'all are smart, y'all get on the calls. I'm giving y'all literally free markup. So what would benefit you is to go to the chat, copy those, paste it to the notes on your iPhone or whatever, or screenshot it whenever you hit the link and it pulls up the picture, and then go back, go to your chart, and mark it up the same way. You feel me? Now, if you also appreciate everything that your boy is doing, do not be shy. If you know on the call, please hit the subscribe button. I would muchly appreciate it. On top of that, if you can go ahead and hit the like button, don't be shy, right? I'm going to be consistent. I would like y'all to be cool and, bring a friend, and then we can have a good old time together, okay? So those are the three setups we have gone over so far: AUD USD, NZD USD, CAD CHF, okay? All three of these charts are dropped in the chat, so if you just got on the call, all the links are going to be on the chat. Let's keep it pushing. GBP Chef. We really only got one more GBP Chef. I don't know if I'm going to go over AUD JPY, just because, like I said, I usually like to only talk about setups that I feel like have an opportunity of happening the same night. So I feel like AUD USD has an opportunity to possibly happen. NZD USD possibly has a chance. CAD CHF possibly has a chance. And GBP Chef possibly have a chance. So GBP Chef is similar. So once again, if I start off on the 4-hour time frame, as you guys can see, the market has been doing what? Aggressively trending to the downside. So the last time the market hit a low was September 25th. Ever since then, the market has been going up aggressively, even though overall this does look like a retracement to possibly continue selling. Where would it sell? Who knows? This is actually a good area of opportunity. Now that I'm looking at, I'm going to mark that out. That's on a 4-hour. That could be something to look at later down the line. 4-hour. All right, cool. So, notice, right? What is the market doing? The market is breaking structure, creating a new low, breaking structure again, creating a new high, right? Then we got this high, we got this retracement, and then the market started kind of trading sideways. So look, at this point, we didn't break this high, and we didn't come back to break this low. So one thing that you can also see, this is a pretty big form of consolidation. So this is basically a 4-hour consolidation zone, right? Because what happened? You got the market to create this high, came back down, but this last low did not take out this recent high, okay? And then whenever it, I guess, essentially retraced again before it got up here, it didn't take out this low. So this is basically the zone that we're looking to trade in. One of two things is going to happen. The market is either going to break this low, or it's going to break this high. That's pretty much it. So, with that being said, it just depends on what kind of person you are. It's one or two people. It's the people that wait for it to break the high or the low, or it's the people that try to get in where they fit in and see if you can get an entry to take you past the high or the low. I like to see if I can get that entry if it makes sense. So for me, what I came to the conclusion of, similar to CAD CHF, right? I would like on CAD CHF, as I said again, to have gotten this high broken to be a little more confident, which is why I drew the zone. GBP Chef is the same way. I would have preferred to see like this high get broken first, but it didn't. In return, we got this high that got broken. Now the market is giving us a retracement back into this 6 hour zone that I have drawn up. So technically, if you wanted to, you could set a buy limit off of this candle formation. But like I said, it's different levels of break of structure that I kind of look at just from experience. It's kind of hard to explain. It's kind of like I just know what I like, kind of thing. But yeah, so once again, this is another opportunity for you guys to, you know, have something that you wait for the market to get to that zone. If and when it hits that zone, it gives you a reaction that you like. You could look to, continue taking it higher. Um, Hold on. I kind of. Let's see. I didn't really think about this down here. I mean, one of two things can happen, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. It could be that 6 hour, or it actually could be the 7 hour. Right here. Yeah, I actually think that's possible. It could break one level and then push down a little lower to this level, possibly. So that's actually two zones that could happen. So a 7 hour zone and a 6 hour zone. Man, it's a possibility. So that's pretty much how I would look at this kind of going into tonight. Um, but personally, if I were to choose between the USD pairs and the CHF pairs, personally, I would tell y'all to go with the AUD pairs. I mean the USD pairs, just because we have a cleaner setup. We have that we got this break of structure and it's actually with the trend. So I guess easier to say it. AUD USD and NZD USD are actually trading with the trend. CAD CHF and GBP Chef are technically trading against the trend. So kind of take that how you take that. But yeah. With that being said, it's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and drop both of these and drop this in the chat as well too. Excuse me. So something like that. And then obviously it could also do something like this. So either or, you got both zones. Make sure I don't block the numbers so you can see it. Yeah, there you go. All right, cool. So with that being said, appreciate everybody for getting onto the call. You guys don't understand how much I appreciate you guys for tapping in this late at night or early. I have no idea where you guys are tuning in from. So either way, definitely doesn't go unnoticed. Please make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you can show you guys some love and get all the notifications as they pop up so you don't miss anything. Make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. Help your boy out. And as usual, I will be back again tomorrow, same time, 1 a.m. Central, 2 a.m. Eastern. And hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. As usual, before I get ready to get off, I will go ahead and drop my Telegram link, one more time in the chat. So make sure you guys go ahead and look at the chat to take advantage of that. And any trade idea that I call out will be dropped into the chat. So just rest assured that I will make sure that I do that for you guys. But with that being said, appreciate everybody for being on the call. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you guys again tomorrow at the same time. Peace.